We're about to travel back in time to ancient Rome to resurrect an invention that helped build the civilized world.
The Roman crane was the blueprint for machines we use today, and it's one of our biggest, most dangerous reinventions yet.
History is full of inventors who've tried to change the world. But there's a fine line between genius and absurd.
Our team digs up strange inventions from history and brings them to life. We're gonna build these inventions from scratch.
And put them to the test.
And some of them might actually work. Jeremy MacPherson is an amateur historian and special effects artist who's worked on films like X-Men and Chicago.
Matt Hunter is a skilled carpenter and backyard inventor.
Together, we are the Re-Inventors. When my buddy Jeremy gives you a history lesson, you know it's going to be anything but an armchair experience.
This is a ridiculous experiment. Your worst yet. Why did I get out of bed to do this with you today?
Because it's a perfect point, man. Humans are weak. We had to look to larger animals to do our dirty work.
Obviously, we need to rev up the horsepower. Literally.
These guys together, 4,200 pounds of massive muscle. Perfect example why humans needed giant animals for civilization to progress.
Well, totally, but even these guys couldn't lift big weights vertically, right?
Right.
So as society progressed, they needed bigger and better machines, like the crane.
The modern-day crane is everywhere, hauling construction materials, loading freight, building oil rigs. From the smallest jib to the tallest tower, cranes help move loads that we puny humans can't handle on our own.
The ancient Greeks came up with the basic idea for the crane more than 2,500 years ago. They used the same kind of winch and pulley system that allows Matt and I to lift the back end of this car.
Well, we just lifted 3 times our body weight, and it was pretty simple using this thing.
Right, nothing once it's up.
The Romans took the same idea and made it better, adding multiple pulleys and a central shaft powered by a giant tread wheel. As the wheel turned, a rope winding around the shaft lifted the load at the end of a giant boom, potentially allowing 2 men to do the same work as 60.
Needless to say, the Roman crane became a vital tool in the building of some of the empire's most famous structures, including the Pantheon, the Coliseum, and Hadrian's Wall. Matt and I can't wait to bring it back to life.
Well, what's kind of weird, though, is that often those early cranes were powered by animals, and some of them were even powered by humans, dude.
No.
Yeah.
So this is a human one, right?
That's right.
And this thing is big. That's high up there, guy.
Look at this giant block and tackle system happening here. You got
Yeah.
this crazy squirrel cage where the people went in to power the gears.
It looks like they get crushed too, right?
Well, let's hope not. Jeremy's concern points out the major challenge of this build: size. Roman cranes differed in size depending on the job.
It's big, bulky, and dangerous, especially when lifting a few thousand kilos over our heads. To make sure it does the job, it will have to meet some strict guidelines.
In terms of build, though, we're up against something, man. There's so many pieces. It's super big. The pulley system's really elaborate. And I think just getting this gerbil wheel to run smoothly and without people getting crushed, that's a big challenge.
So what are our measures of success then? I think
Right.
the big one has to be lifting capacity.
Oh, yeah.
If we've got 8 or 9 bodies scrambling around in here to lift 200 pounds, it's useless.
There's no point.
Yeah, so stability and safety go hand in hand, right? If this thing is not stable, we got big, huge weight swinging around, we got
Right.
ropes that can break, it's not gonna be safe.
So I think we see eye to eye, man. We should get the team together.
Let's do it.
It's clear that this is a mega huge project. Based on the blueprints, our team figures out that the human treadwheel alone is going to be about 18 feet in diameter.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try and source out some probably 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 timbers.
Okay.
So I guess we'll leave you guys in charge of this wheel. Get that going, we'll meet you back here.
So, while Jason and Tyler start construction on the treadwheel, Matt checks out the lumber yard for materials for the crane's base, frame, and boom. I head over to the library looking for something to put our Roman crane to the ultimate test. It doesn't take me long to come up with a perfect challenge to recreate a section of one of the great wonders of the ancient world, Hadrian's Wall. Built around 120 AD, it's an amazing stone and sod barricade that stretched across the width of England, marking Roman boundaries and protecting their territories from northern tribes. 5 meters high in some sections and more than 100 kilometers long, the wall was constructed of huge squared stones set in volcanic mortar and lime-based cement. My idea is to use our reinvented crane to build the stone gate of one of the small forts that dotted the length of the wall. I called Matt to fill him in on my idea and to find out how his shopping trip is going.
I'm having a hard time finding the big timbers here, though, so I'm going to lam together some 2x10s, 2x12s, construction adhesive with some air nails.
All right, man. Sounds good. I'll see you later.
All right.
Once again, the magnitude of this build comes into play, forcing us to join smaller pieces of lumber so they match the size and strength of the original.
Well, picking up the materials today has opened up a whole new area of problems in my mind. Jared and I just carried in 1/6 of the materials we're going to use just in the boom alone.
Our lifting beams are going to be 40 feet high. It's crazy. So many boards go into just lamming that together. They're going to weigh hundreds of pounds.
With those kind of numbers, the 1,000-pound stones of Hadrian's wall won't be our first challenge. It'll be trying to lift the weight of the crane arm itself.
All right, let's go. Do this.
At the Re-Inventors workshop, the team is busy building a replica of an invention more than 2,000 years old.
Designed by the Greeks and perfected by the Romans, the crane played an important role in the construction of the empire's greatest structures.
This is definitely our most hazardous build. We not only need our 35-foot crane to lift its own weight, but also the weight of the blocks we'll use to rebuild a section of Hadrian's wall.
Glenn,
How's it going?
excellent. Yourself?
Beautiful.
Good, good. So our Roman...
For safety's sake, we want to be able to control our weight loads, so we're getting one of our guys to build us some heavy-duty stand-ins for the giant building stones.
So we're going to try and make these things out of hollow plywood boxes, which we can then fill on site full of sand or rock or whatever. It gives us some versatility in our weight.
Life is good.
Okay, buddy. Thanks, man.
With that squared away, Matt and I return to the crane itself, turning our attention to the heavy-duty block and tackle.
So it looks like this guy's going to come together really nice, the wheel. And I think we've got the lumber to build all these beams.
Yeah, so if you guys can start lamming that stuff together, we got to go and see Dr. Melendez, figure out the mechanical advantage for our block and tackle.
Do we ever?
All right.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Matt and I head over to the university physics lab where Dr. Melendez sheds some light on why the tread wheel makes the Roman crane lift more efficiently.
We already know any pulley system reduces the amount of force needed to lift a heavy load, known as the mechanical advantage. For example, 2 pulleys split the weight equally between them. In a block and tackle system, a movable pulley is attached to the load and to a fixed pulley connected to the boom. The mechanical advantage comes when you pull on the rope that draws the load-bearing pulley towards the fixed one.
Shows us we can lift 2,000 pounds here just with 1,000 pounds of force here.
You say only, but I mean, 1,000 pounds is a lot until you start adding the gerbil wheel,
Oh,
right?
we get super efficient.
Right.
The Romans knew all this, but decided they could increase their mechanical advantage by using a tread wheel to power their main drive shaft. As Dr. Melendez showed us, a 180-pound man walking inside an 18-foot gerbil wheel really ups the ante.
So that's the bottom line. We put one guy in here, weighs 180, he can lift 3,600 pounds by himself.
And that's one guy. If we had another guy, we could double that, right? That's pretty good.
Awesome.
That's boding well for our build, man.
It's time to meet the rest of the team at the testing grounds for our crane's final assembly. We can't take the chance that our reinvention will crash down on top of us. While the Romans tied cranes down with stakes in the ground, we're relying on a rock-solid foundation.
So this crane is of a massive scale. We could not build this thing in the workshop. We've got our big stones coming off the truck today to counterweight our lifts for this big crane. So this is the first process, big build going on.
It seems fitting somehow that we're using a descendant of our reinvention to unload our huge concrete anchors, each one weighing in at 4,300 pounds, almost 2,000 kilograms.
Once the concrete blocks are in place, it's time to arrange the wooden sections for assembly.
Well, we've laid out the boom here, and this is the first time I've been able to see the giant scope of this thing. It's got to be 3.5 stories high, and probably weighs about 1,500 pounds. This thing is huge. All right, so the massive boom's all ready, man.
So let's put that wheel together.
Can you hold that one, J-Man? Sorry, you're just having to stand there, Matt.
It's all right.
Now that this thing's actually coming together, you can see the scale of this thing is gigantic, and it really makes you think about what the Romans were able to pull off in terms of building things like Hadrian's Wall.
Looks big. The scaffold's in place to help us drop that shaft into the center drive area.
Yeah.
So I guess that's next, really.
Yeah, what I think we should do too, once we fabricate the hub, we should put on all the spokes.
Okay.
Because then it gives you a good optical view of how we can attach all of these one at a time.
Using Jeff's suggestion, we start putting together the tread wheel that will power the crane. All we need now is a giant hamster to run the thing.
So our counterweights are obviously in place. We have our giant tread wheel now together. So we've got spokes and 11 huge sections of deck that we had to scab together into this, create this wheel. This thing will generate the lift we need to power those heavy weights up at the end of our boom, which takes us to our next step, putting this 24 or 36-foot boom together.
The biggest challenge for us is just the size. Everything is extremely heavy and very hard to move around. Just the size of it makes it dangerous, especially for the crew.
Dangerous or not, it's time to give the tread wheel a test run.
Now, your legs are longer than mine, so don't start taking off.
And far more sculpted.
It feels really weird. That's unbelievable. It is so smooth. And it's really hard to believe that I'm standing inside something that's, you know, a couple thousand-year-old idea, and it's basically the device that Romans built some of their biggest structures with. It's like a little time machine. Okay, slow. Oh, man. Turbo.
You want one or just you?
I thought I was gonna end up doing that.
Oh man, I am woozy.
I know, me too. I feel very ill.
With the tread wheel up and running, it's time to tackle the dreaded boom arm. Jeremy may have a solution concerning its size.
And I was thinking, just for safety's sake, why don't we start with the 24 feet as opposed to 36?
Yeah, absolutely. And safety, but also we've got only 2 joints in that could fail on test day. So it looks as though from scale in the original blueprints that the original boom arm was 36 feet long. We've decided to go 24 feet to start. We're going to lose 2 possible joints that could fail in that case.
We got the tread wheel all set up, the boom is all together, but we're losing our light here, so I think it'd be best we call it for today, come back in the morning, figure out our block and tackle, and move towards test day. As our Roman crane casts its shadow across its final testing ground, we hope that it'll stand up to its greatest challenge, the resurrection of Hadrian's Wall.
Whoa, I can feel it. It's gonna tug us.
Guys, keep it going.
The Re-Inventors have traveled 2,000 years back in time to resurrect an invention that helped build the civilized world.
It's one of the biggest projects we've ever tackled. A Roman crane complete with a 24-foot boom powered by a giant human tread wheel.
We're going to use the crane to rebuild a section of Hadrian's Wall using hollow wooden blocks we had specially made.
The plan is to fill them with sand on site, allowing us to start slightly lighter. Then, as we gain confidence in the safety, we can add enough sand to match the original weight of some of the blocks used 2,000 years ago.
Well, we've got the pulley system in place now, which was a big step. We want to stand this boom up now. That's going to be our first test.
Matt's right. The boom arm alone weighs about 1,000 pounds, so lifting it will definitely test the crane's strength and stability, as well as our own.
Fortunately, we have some additional muscle on hand, the prairie dogs of war.
All these schematics and drawings we've seen of this crane show it in its working position.
Right.
These guys had thousands and thousands of slaves to help them get that boom up in position originally.
Back in the day, that's where you guys come in, the minions, Sarge. So it's obviously going to take lots of people to run this thing. So we're going to have people inside the wheel, a couple people out front, helping to position the wood, and everybody has to not get killed.
That's the
if
big
possible.
thing today, safety. This thing weighs probably 1,000 pounds. All right, let's go.
do this.
Slower, maybe.
Slow. Okay, we got some movement. Watch out for the boingy parts. Hey, it's lifting.
It's a slow process of lifting and bracing, making sure that all parts of the crane are holding firm, particularly the boom.
this is the heaviest point, right? Once we get past up our 45 degrees, it gets a little lighter on the crane, right?
And also, all of our forces in that straight line, once we're up higher, this should settle back down again in theory,
Hopefully.
right?
With some minor adjustments and a lot of patience, we gradually get the boom arm in place.
Well, my friend, 2,000 years of Roman crane technology.
Have you seen this thing, man? It is huge.
The scale is ominous.
I know. At first glance, too, I thought the design was wacky. Let's start testing this
Let's
thing.
prop those booms up. All right.
It's time to put the Roman crane through its paces, with a watchful eye on its stability, strength, treadwheel efficiency, and of course, overall safety. Its first job, to lift this freezer filled with sand, taking the overall weight to close to 800 pounds.
Sarge, take a guy, go to the back, be by the weights, no movement, hopefully, right?
Let's put two guys out front here to watch this whole boom apparatus, because if anything fails up here, catastrophe.
And the rest of you just like listen for any popping or grinding, and we'll just run for the hills.
When Matt and I take the first turn on our treadwheel, we're in for a surprise.
Are we lifting?
I can't even feel any resistance.
No way. I don't feel anything. I bet one person could do this.
Now, it's a really slow lift.
True. But you know what? You have a beautiful view.
Nice view, absolutely.
And we're basically lifting a fridge pinata. This thing is so user-friendly. Matt and I just lifted a giant freezer just by ourselves. It's a 2,000-year-old device. We're about to lift a 20th century car. How cool is that?
I don't want to do
it. Good.
That'll teach him. We're gonna want everybody else on this steerage line, because if this car swings into one of these support arms, we're in huge trouble.
That could be bad.
And this is the biggest lift we've tried. If we can get this car off the ground, it really blows the lifting capacity of this thing out of the water.
With a lift of 1,500 pounds, over 600 kilograms, our soldiers power the treadwheel while Matt and I make sure no one's in harm's way.
Hey, rear wheels are off the ground.
Look at that.
Keep going, Sarge. Keep going, buddy.
Come on, buddy, come on. No way.
Come on, buddy. Fly, big one, fly.
1,500 pounds.
Look at this thing. That is awesome. Well, this was super impressive. Just picked up that 1,500-pound car like it was nothing. This totally bodes well for our next test, which is building Hadrian's Wall.
Flag me in.
It's time for Phase 3, the ultimate test for our Roman reinvention. First step is to use a couple of Bobcat loads of sand to mimic the weight of Roman concrete.
Then, Jeremy tears a page from the history books to move the blocks the way the Romans would have 2,000 years ago.
Using a team of slaves, the concrete blocks would have been rolled across a series of logs, acting as a makeshift conveyor belt.
Oh, wait, whoa. All right, here we go.
We need a big one up front now?
Oh, hey, not bad.
Okay.
Once the blocks and the team are in position, we're ready for the big lift.
Okay,
So Sarge, when you're ready, buddy. Ready.
let's get that engine rolling in there.
I can feel it. It's gonna
That's
tug
it,
us.
guys. Keep it going.
Actually, we're gonna get tugged towards the center.
Shaking like crazy, man.
What do you mean shaking?
While the crane handles the heavy lifting, our team guides its payload into position.
Okay, guys, getting close. It's got some weight to it.
We're cutting the rope up. We're gonna have to change ropes every time now. We got
Should we
about
start
4
thinking
more
about
inches.
swinging
Okay,
over?
let's start dropping her in.
Okay, let's try and manhandle this guy over.
It takes a little maneuvering, but the crane continues to hang in there.
Flow
We
backwards.
need to bring it down 4 inches or so, Sarge. Oh,
So
so
delicate.
hard to move it. Man, for a first try, that's pretty good.
Well, we have this 2,000-year-old Roman crane here, which is pretty impressive, especially when you look at the fact it's powered by humans alone, nothing else. Modern-day cranes, of course, which this thing led to directly, powered by an internal combustion engine, hydraulic power, which allows them to lift so much, up to 3,000 tons, with a boom length of 100 meters. It's almost 300 feet, so you can see what this thing led to.
With the first block successfully in place, our confidence is in high gear, but that doesn't mean we can start taking chances.
I think we're getting a little too nonchalant, man. I was running around underneath there. I don't want to do that again.
There's a lot of strain on the system, you know, the wood, the pulleys, like everything could fail at any time. Like,
1,000 pounds would hurt.
super dangerous. So,
All right, you ready, guys? Sarge?
That's it, guys. Coming off the ground. It's good.
Whoa. Okay, we're pulling too much. Pulling too much. You guys need more people?
No, I think I'm okay.
About 2 feet up, guys. Come on, Sarge, run it out, run it out. It's pointy. Mac, can you pull this way a bit?
Okay, guys. Yeah, bring her down, guys.
Oh.
Start bringing her down.
Oh.
Watch your hands, Jer.
Okay, go down fast, fast, fast. I'll tell you when to slow. Ah! Is that it?
Once again, the Roman crane expertly lifts close to 1,000 pounds, powered only by 2 men in a single tread wheel.
Now what?
Well,
Top piece.
yeah, we've proved this thing is working with some pretty heavy weights, but this is the real test.
All right, we're about to do the final stage of our test here, the Hadrian's Walled Gate. And we've got a piece that's 12 feet across, weighs 2,000 pounds, really, really heavy. And I'm worried about it slipping out and killing somebody. Okay, Sarge, easy up, man. Go fast there, Sarge. Run it out. As long as you don't knock those blocks over.
Yeah, I know. You got a long way to go, Sarge. Keep up the pace, buddy.
Oh. All right, well, I know what I'm doing next time I'm carrying a piano up the stairs. I'm using this thing instead.
After a shaky start, our Roman crane has definitely lived up to its reputation, with high marks for strength, stability, ease of use, and yes, even safety.
Ease her in.
Whoa!
It's up there.
Whoa!
Yeah! Stand in! Nice work, boys. You know what? This thing blows my mind, Jer. So
Does
we've
it ever?
taken this 2,000-year-old piece of technology
Roman technology, yeah.
and built this wall.
In no time at all. Basically 10 guys. It's crazy, man.
Unreal. So this thing definitely has massive lifting capability.
Does
We
it ever?
proved that with the car,
Yeah.
with these giant blocks.
Yeah, stability. Unbelievable stability, right?
Absolutely. This thing was triangulated perfectly. And as far as safety,
Nobody got pinched.
absolutely.
I would have to say, I hope you go with me, patent approved.
Full agreement. Patent approved, buddy.
You, nice job.